In the summer of 2021, America fell in love with a smiling girl on Instagram. She had blonde hair, gentle eyes, and a quiet kind of joy that felt real. Her name was Gabby Petito. At just 22 years old, Gabby had packed her life into a white Ford Transit van. Inside were clothes, notebooks, camera gear, and dreams. She wasn't running away from home, she was running toward something. Freedom, adventure, a future she could document frame by frame. Gabby and her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, called it van life. They planned to drive across the United States, visiting national parks, sleeping under the stars, and sharing their journey online. To the world, it looked perfect. Photos showed laughter, sunsets, hugs in wide-open landscapes. But perfection, especially online, often hides what the camera doesn't capture. Because while millions watched Gabby smile, she was slowly disappearing. In early July 2021, Gabby left New York with Brian. She hugged her parents goodbye, she promised to call, she promised to come back. She had no idea that goodbye would be permanent. The couple traveled west, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming. Gabby posted photos regularly. She wrote captions about gratitude, peace, and love. But behind the scenes, the relationship was tense. Friends would later say Brian was controlling, jealous, quick to anger. Gabby, by contrast, was gentle, sensitive, anxious about conflict. The van was small, the pressure was constant, and there was nowhere to escape. On August 12, 2021, a 911 dispatcher in Moab, Utah received a disturbing call. A witness reported seeing a man strike a woman near a van. Police were sent immediately. When officers pulled the couple over, they found Gabby sitting in the passenger seat. She was crying, hyperventilating.
You want to place your vehicle into park and go ahead and turn it off for me? No, park?
Oh, it is in park, yeah.
Okay, turn off your engine. Go ahead and set your keys on the dash for me, all right? What's your guys' names?
Gabby.
Brian.
Gabby, Brian? Okay. What's going on? How come you're crying?
I'm sorry, we've just been fighting this morning. Some personal issues.
It was a long day. We were camping yesterday, and camping got messed up, flies and stuff. I'm sorry I hit the bump there.
I was distracting him from driving, I'm sorry.
Can I get you to step out of the vehicle for me, man?
Yeah.
Just hang tight right there. Do you mind if I take your keys and just put them on your hood?
You got it, buddy. I'm so
Thank
sorry.
you. Oh, no, you're fine. I'm going to go ahead and close your door, okay? Why don't you come over here? SO229, I have the female that was on the passenger seat separated from the male. Keys are on the hood. You want to tell me what's going on?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, some days I have really bad OCD, and
Okay.
I was just cleaning and straightening up the back of the van before, and I was apologizing to him and saying, I'm sorry that I'm so mean, because sometimes I have OCD, and sometimes I just get really frustrated. Not like mean towards him, I just like, I guess my vibe is like, I hear him be like in a bad mood. And I was just saying, I'm sorry if I'm in a bad mood. I've just been really stressed. I had so much work I was doing on my computer this morning.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I used to work at an all-organic juice bar, but I just quit my job.
Okay.
I was a nutritionist. That was my
That's
job.
cool.
And I just quit my job to travel across the country. And I'm trying to start a blog. I just have a blog and stuff. So I've been building my website. So I've just been really stressed, and he doesn't really believe that I could do any of it. So that's kind of been like a, I don't know, he's like down there. I don't know, we've just been fighting all morning, and he wouldn't let me in the car before. And then
Why wouldn't he let you in the car? Because of
told me
your OCD?
He told me I needed to calm down. Yeah. But I'm perfectly calm. I'm calm all the time, and he really stresses me out, and this is a rough morning.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't I sit you down in the back seat of my car? You're not in any trouble, okay? I'm not going to be putting handcuffs on you. You obviously don't have any weapons. I'm going to get you into the air conditioning, let you take a breath, relax a little bit, and then I'll come back and talk to you in a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
Alrighty. Like I said, you're not in any trouble. So just go ahead and take a seat. Watch your feet. Did she take over the?
No, I
take over
saw
the pedal on you?
If I was going fast, I'm sorry. No, it's probably just the moment of like, I'm still shaking now. The adrenaline, seeing the lights flashing up, and then her gripping the wheel. So if I sped up, I'm sorry about that. Or if I was speeding beforehand, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it took quite a bit.
Would later haunt millions. Gabby wiped tears from her face, her hands shook, her voice cracked. She looked scared. Police separated them for the night. Brian stayed in a hotel, Gabby stayed with the van. No charges were filed. The system moved on. Gabby did not. After Utah, the posts slowed. The captions became shorter, less joyful, more forced. On August 25th, Gabby spoke to her mother for the last time. She said they were heading to Wyoming. 2 days later, August 27th, that was it. No calls, no texts, no posts. Silence. When Brian Laundrie returned to Florida on September 1st, he did not come home empty-handed. He brought the van, but Gabby was not with him. Brian said nothing, not to police, not to neighbors, not to Gabby's frantic parents. Days passed. Gabby's family filed a missing person report. The internet exploded. TikTok creators analyzed timelines. YouTubers slowed down videos. Strangers turned into investigators. Then something unbelievable
Step out for me.
A travel YouTuber reviewing old
As you can see, I have
footage
keys in my
noticed
hand, which is
something
good, okay?
strange.
So,
In the background of
something
a
that I
video
do
filmed
that I
on
emphasized
August
to him, and I don't know if
27th,
I emphasized to you or not. Don't text each other tonight. He wants to pass on the same message you passed to him. He's really looking forward to talking to you again, but I told him and you, unless there's earth-shattering emergency news, don't text tonight, okay? Even with the good nights, I love you. He's saying good night now. He's saying he loves you now, and you guys can talk tomorrow morning, okay? He's gonna go to the hotel. I'm gonna give you the keys to the van. I'm gonna let you go home. Alrighty? So, here's that. I'm giving him a ride over to the hotel, okay? So, everything's gonna be okay.
Will it be a far drive for me to get him in the morning? I'm just curious.
I'm not gonna tell you where he's gonna be at tonight.
I know.
Like I said, I want you guys to be separated. But I can tell you this.
I just don't usually drive the van, so I just want to make sure it's not like far away.
No. It's
Okay.
it's basically from here to Moonflower.
Okay.
Okay? It's not far at all. So, let's get you in the van, let's get you on your way, alrighty? You want that Gatorade, by the way?
Okay.
You got enough water? Also, something I want you to know. Here, stand over here real fast for me. If you go over to City Market, they have a list of places where you can get yourself a shower for like $4 or $5, something like that. They're pretty cheap. A place where you can shower, decompress, de-stress a little bit, alrighty?
Yeah, I just showered yesterday at one of those.
Well, you didn't have today happen yesterday, so
Yeah,
and it does my wife wonders. So when she gets stressed out, it's like, get in the shower. Come on,
It
just get in the
does.
Go take a shower, relax, take some time for yourself, and like I said, don't text each other tonight. Text each other tomorrow morning after your eyes open up and you're fully awake, had your coffee or your morning routine, okay? All right, Gabby, you have a good night, okay?
Thank you.
All right, all right.
On the ladder, I did the bottom, and it was just the rattle of the rattlesnake. It's just like comes out. So,
You ready for a ride?
where's the crowd? Yeah.
my door's open. Just climb in the back seat for me. Yeah, you can put your backpack back there too.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Sorry about that approach. I don't know what the hell I was doing.
It's alright. It was an interesting pull-in, so.
Thanks again.
Daniel, by the way, if I didn't formally introduce myself, I'm Daniel. I'm 229, so if you hear.
It matched Gabby's van. That footage narrowed the search area dramatically. Within days, investigators found Gabby's body. She was alone. She had been left in the wilderness. The autopsy results were devastating. Cause of death: manual strangulation. She had fought, she had suffered, she had been silenced. America was no longer asking where Gabby was. They were asking who killed her. And Brian Laundrie was gone. As Gabby's name dominated headlines, Brian vanished into a Florida nature reserve. Police searched for weeks: swamps, heat, alligators, nothing. Gabby's parents spoke publicly, begging for answers. Her mother said something that broke the nation's heart. She was everybody's daughter. Weeks later, investigators found human remains. They belonged to Brian Laundrie. Nearby was a notebook. Inside it, Brian admitted responsibility for Gabby's death. No trial, no cross-examination, no justice in the way people expected, just words on paper. Gabby Petito's story forced uncomfortable conversations about domestic violence, about emotional abuse, about how often victims apologize for being hurt. Her parents created the Gabby Petito Foundation, helping other families find missing loved ones. Gabby became more than a victim. She became a warning, a reminder that love should never feel like fear. To understand what happened to Gabby Petito, you have to understand Brian Laundrie. On camera, Brian didn't look dangerous. He smiled easily. He spoke calmly. He joked with police. But experts would later say something chilling. The most dangerous abusers don't look angry. They look controlled. Brian displayed classic signs of coercive control, a form of abuse that doesn't always leave bruises. Friends recalled moments when Brian took Gabby's phone during arguments, criticized her creativity, mocked her anxiety, isolated her from friends. Gabby, on the other hand, constantly blamed herself. In the Utah bodycam footage, she apologized repeatedly, not because she had done something wrong, but because she was terrified of losing him. That footage became one of the most painful moments in modern true crime history, not because it showed violence, but because it showed how close help was and how easily it slipped away. By late August, the relationship was collapsing. Investigators later pieced together a haunting timeline. August 26th, Gabby was seen arguing with Brian at a restaurant in Jackson, Wyoming. Witnesses reported Brian acting aggressively. Gabby appeared upset and withdrawn. That night, the van was driven into the wilderness. What happened next would never be fully seen, only inferred. But the autopsy told part of the story. Gabby did not die instantly. She was strangled, a deeply personal act, one that requires sustained pressure. This wasn't an accident. It wasn't a moment of panic. It was intentional. When Brian returned to Florida without Gabby, one detail shocked the nation even more than his silence. His parents said nothing too. For days, then weeks, the Laundrie family refused to cooperate publicly. While Gabby's parents begged for answers on television, Brian's parents closed their doors. They hired a lawyer. They ignored messages. They protected their son. Public anger exploded. Protesters gathered outside the Laundrie home in Northport, Florida. Signs read, Where is Gabby? Say her name. Silence is violence. The contrast was brutal. One family searching for a daughter, another shielding a son. And Brian? He vanished. On September 13th, Brian Laundrie was officially reported missing. Police believed he had gone into the Carlton Reserve, a vast swamp filled with snakes, alligators, and floodwater. Search teams flooded the area. Helicopters, canine units, underwater divers. For weeks, the search cost millions of dollars. The world watched. People asked the same question over and over. How does someone just disappear? Control, even in death. Brian took the truth with him. He chose his ending. Gabby never got that choice. Vigils were held across the country. Strangers cried for a woman they had never met. Parents hugged their children tighter. Gabby Petito became a symbol, not just of loss, but of warning signs ignored. She wasn't weak, she was trapped, and the world finally saw it, too late. As the story settled, attention turned to one haunting question. Could Gabby Petito have been saved? The Utah traffic stop became a focal point. Police had been called for domestic violence. They had body cam footage. They saw Gabby crying, shaking, apologizing, yet the situation was treated as a minor dispute. Gabby was labeled the emotional one. Brian was seen as calm and reasonable. This is a pattern experts recognize too well. Victims often take blame, minimize abuse, protect their abuser. And when that happens, the system frequently looks away. No one called a domestic violence advocate. No formal risk assessment was completed. No follow-up occurred. The stop ended. The danger did not. After Gabby's death, law enforcement agencies across the U.S. began reviewing how domestic violence calls are handled, especially when emotional abuse is involved. Her case became a lesson written in tragedy. While Brian's story ended in silence, Gabby's family chose a different path. Instead of retreating from the world, they stepped into it. They spoke publicly. They shared her story. They showed her photos, laughing, dreaming, alive. They created the Gabby Petito Foundation, focused on helping families of missing persons, raising awareness about domestic violence, teaching people how to recognize warning signs. Gabby's name became a lifeline for others. Parents called police sooner. Friends trusted their instincts. Victims saw themselves in her story and left dangerous relationships. Gabby did not get justice in a courtroom, but her life changed lives. Gabby Petito wanted to see the world. She wanted to create, to love, to feel free. Instead, her story ended in a place no one should ever be left, alone, silenced, unseen. But listen closely, because her voice didn't disappear. It lives in every person who now recognizes the signs of control, in every victim who realizes love should never feel like fear, in every parent who hugs their child a little tighter tonight. Gabby showed us something uncomfortable, that danger doesn't always look violent. Sometimes it looks like a smile. Sometimes it looks calm. Sometimes it rides beside you in a van across open roads. Her journey ended far too soon, but her story didn't. And as long as her name is spoken, Gabby Petito is not forgotten.